So I made a video last time suggesting that we could address some of our lack of preparedness in politics in Australia for our future of disasters. You know, if we all just took time out, took responsibility for persuading one person to stand with us in fixing it up. And yeah, I was going to do some more ideas on that theme, but then I got some feedback from Anonymous, and it raised a couple of good points. So I thought I might just quickly address what Anonymous said. So Anonymous said, talking to people one-on-one about climate change, no one's tried that before, huh? And the background here is Anonymous is being sarcastic about it because Anonymous is having a big family feud about whether climate change is real, and it's gotten so intense that Anonymous has been unfriended by his mum. First up, look, Anonymous, I feel terrible for you. That sounds awful. Sorry you've been unfriended by your mum. But I think that we're maybe talking at cross purposes here, right? There's two things that we need to look at here. First up, I would recommend that you don't go hard on trying to persuade people that you're right, and that they are wrong, right? It sounds to me like you're having the kind of argument with your mum where your mum's like, no, climate change is not a thing, and you're going, oh yeah, climate change is super bad and it's going to destroy us all, and neither of you have any scope for uncertainty and a bit of humility about where you're coming from, and you're not going to come to an agreement about that. But also, you don't have to come to an agreement, right? The goal here is not to be Mr. Righty McRightpants who's right about everything, and people who disagree with you have to say, oh yes, I'm so sorry, I was wrong, I am really foolish, and how could I? No, right, that's not the goal. It doesn't even matter if you ultimately agree about how bad all the problems you're facing are. That's not the goal. The goal is to have each other's backs, and to work out how to work together to find a solution to the things that you both find are concerning in the world. And even if you don't agree with each other about what the things are that are concerning, if you can both agree to work together towards fixing the stuff that's wrong, you'll both make progress towards fixing the stuff that you think is wrong, right? You don't need to be right, you just need to be respected. All right? And that means giving respect, but not necessarily winning the argument. Okay, so that's one thing. Don't try and win the argument, right? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're not right. But you don't need to be right to move things forward. The other one is don't start with your mum, right? So I don't know what your family's like, Anonymous, and but I know what families can be like, and you've probably got some history, and there's probably other stuff going on there, and you're not gonna, everyone is gonna, you're gonna have awkward family dinners, and I can't fix that for you, but it's probably actually not even the main priority as far as politics goes, because the main priority in politics is about, I reckon, is about the divisions that are happening in Australian society, right? There's a lot of people in politics and the media who are spending a lot of time trying to persuade some parts of Australia that they shouldn't listen to other parts of Australia, writing off whole parts of society along some convenient fracture lines. Those people who live somewhere different than you, they're wrong. Those people who've got different educational background than you, they're wrong. Don't talk to them. They're nasty. Those people who look a bit different than you, they're really wrong. Those people with a different religion than you, they don't want us to talk to each other. and that makes us very convenient to control. So I reckon if you really want to have a bit of mileage out of, spending some of your precious time with doing something a bit, it is a bit tiring to have to go and talk to new people. Totally get it. Right? If you really want to get maximum value out of making a new alliance with someone, then maybe the alliance you make should be with someone who doesn't look like you, who doesn't sound like you, right? Maybe make it someone that's as far away from you as possible across one of these fracture lines, right? Talk to someone who not isn't in your family, but if there's someone you meet down the pub, good. If there's someone you meet at a pub you don't normally go to, even better. If you've just moved town and you're meeting a whole bunch of people who come from a completely different background of you, oh look, double points, right? We want to be crossing some fracture lines and making sure that we know each other better, so that it's not so easy to divide us, and get a sweet deal for some parts of the Australian population at the expense of the others, right? So don't feel bad if you can't persuade your mum. Deal with the mum later. Right now, go out and broaden your horizons a little bit first. How about that? Okay, that's. I know you didn't actually ask for my help on this one, Anonymous, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be useful to you. Have a good one.